ladies and gentlemen of the Vulcan Forged community. Welcome into episode 44 of By the Fire. You may be noticing here that things are looking a little different from our usual By the Fire show format, and there's a good reason for that. We are actually taking things in a little bit of a different direction with the show. This is something that we are very excited about, have been working really hard at bringing to fruition. And there's a new format that we're going to be, testing out, playing with, improving over time. And Armega, why don't you let everyone know the reason for this and what we're doing with the new show format here?
Definitely. Well, we realize that everybody's time is valuable, and we just want to make sure that we take these long shows. We had guests on, all right, and these guests they give us great content. Everybody loves to talk to these guests because they're just so interesting. But the problem is that we ran into situations where we didn't want to cut them off, and rightly so. We ended up having a show that ended up lasting 2+ hours. We want to try to get that down to like maybe say 30 minutes or something. And sometimes we'll have shows that run longer. Sometimes we'll have shows that run less. But we want to guarantee that it doesn't go over an hour. That's kind of our mark that we want to make sure we always stay honed in on. And we're trying out a lot of different things. We have a lot of great ideas. I don't know if we're going to be able to make them happen or not, but we're just going to be playing around with trying to find this comfort zone that we had is now being ripped out from underneath us, and we're going to jump straight into the deep end and see if we can make something special with you guys. So that's pretty much the idea of the new show.
Yeah, and so the biggest thing there is like there's so much going on in the Vulcan Forge ecosystem nowadays, and we really just want to be able to bring to you guys all the news, updates, information in a quick, professional, high-quality manner. And we're using this as something to learn from and improve upon over time. So expect these shows to get better and better bi-weekly. We're running them bi-weekly just because there's more time for more content to come through for us to report on and bring to you. And so for this first episode, our debut episode of the new format, this is going to be a recap of Vulcon 2.0. So I'm sure everyone knows Vulcan Forge just hosted one of the greatest events in blockchain gaming history in Greece. And, I haven't heard a negative thing about it from anyone, especially the people who were in attendance. It apparently was just, the event of a lifetime. It was absolutely incredible.
Armega and I
were not so fortunate.
Like an amazing laser show too. Gosh, I can't wait to get into that stuff too. But also something I did want to mention, just so it's very clear. It's not just going to be myself, Armega, and Mukti. We're going to have our other hosts on here as well. We're just taking these guys have been wiped. We've had good old GV Glitch Viking out there partying it up with our Walter Chambers, and they are just wiped from all the travel. I think Walt actually got stranded in Greece because of his flight issues, and last I heard, I think he's on his way back. So hope there's safe travels there. But sorry about that, Mukti. I just wanted to make sure to point out that everybody is going to be on the show still.
Yeah, perfectly okay. Yes. So for this this first episode, it's just Armega and I. And we are going to be recapping Vulcan. There were a lot of great speakers there. A lot of great information was revealed. And, you may have missed it. Even if you were tuning in live on the stream like Armega and I were, we had a By the Fire viewing party, which was a lot of fun. There was so much information covered. And so what we're going to be doing here in the show is running through each of the speakers of the event and kind of touching on some of the main points of their presentation to deliver all the core information from each speech to you in a quick and high quality manner. So if you missed this stream, if you missed Vulcan, rather than having to watch all 5-6 hours of it back, we are hoping to deliver you, the main portion of that valuable information here in this episode right now. And one thing we want to do quick before we get into it is we want to give a big shout out to Vulcan Forged, as later on in the day there was a there was an award ceremony, and our guild, By the Fire, we were fortunate enough to win the most popular guild in the Vulcan ecosystem. And, it was just such an honor. We have so many awesome members of our guild, people working really hard to do what we do. We have some great scholars, great Sedalians, as a part of By the Fire. And, it's something we're really excited about. We're going to be doing what we can to continue to grow, be the best guild we possibly can, and bring as much value to Vulcan Forged and our affiliated projects as we can. And for anyone who may have missed the live stream, and us by the fire winning that award, we had Glitch Viking and Walter Chambers on site to accept it, and we're going to go ahead and roll that clip here for anyone who may have missed it.
So before we do that, just real quick, one more thing. Wanted to make sure that we took a moment to, in addition, shouting out to Vulcan Forge with the amazing awards that we got from them. We really appreciate that. But we also want to shout out to our entire staff, people like MZ, Joffer, Artemis. Yeah. I mean, y'all might not have been mentioned out there in this specific clip that we're about to run, but everybody knows you guys and knows that y'all are some of the hardest workers that we have in the in the guild that make sure the wheels do turn. So I just wanted to make sure that we took a moment to shout out to the internal operations team as much as just the front faces of the company.
Yes, yeah. Much love to MZ, Joffer, Artemis, everyone who makes By the Fire as great as it is, as great as it has been. Also Tiger John as well.
Oh yes.
Much love to the man behind the Vulcanomics videos, and really just the core of the software applications we're building out By the Fire along with Armega. And there's a lot of great stuff coming, a lot of moving pieces with the guild that we are going to be bringing forth in the coming months and years that we're very excited about. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and roll that clip and get into episode 44 for today.
So let's quickly move over to the next one. It's actually two guys who are in here right now, but it's actually a great team. It's the team of By the Fire, and they will be awarded for the most popular guild, but obviously they are not only a guild, they are doing much more stuff for Vulcan Forge. So please give a very loud applause for Glitched Viking and Walter Chambers. Congrats. And of course the team is much bigger, but I think Mukti and Armega, they are not here right now. And oh, a second one.
Hoop dat we genoeg hebben.
Wow, that was so amazing. We really appreciate the honor of having awards given to the By the Fire team. I think I can speak for all of us when we say we're very humbled by not just one award, but the many awards that we were given, just to be able to, participate in this community and the things that we do. It's just really humbling. All right.
It was so nice of Jaap and the Vulcan Forged team to give us that award and shout us out there. It really means a lot. We do our best to provide quality Vulcan Forged content, and having this award granted to us only motivates us even more. It makes us want to turn things up a notch and go to the next level with it all. And we're so grateful, so proud to be part of this community, and we're going to continue to do what we can to be the best guild in the space that we possibly can be, and continue Vulcan Forged content, gameplay, and everything that is involved in being a player in Berserk guild. We will be doing our best in all aspects. So thank you, Jaap, Toby, Jamie, the Vulcan Forged team. It's an honor. Not something we are taking lightly. We appreciate it very, very much. And yes, we're so grateful to have received that award. And as you guys can see now, we are here in our new By the Fire studios. We did not penny a pinch at all here. We really wanted to go all out.
That's right. Well, Jamie gave us the 4th floor, so we decided to just hang out up top, and he didn't tell us it was going to be 102 degrees up here with all these windows, but
Yeah, it's warm. That wasn't mentioned in the rental contract, but we got our 2 big flat screen TVs here. We have a beautiful city view. There's just nothing to complain about here. We're living well in the By the Fire offices now. Vulcan Forge isn't the only company who recently upgraded their offices. We're right there with them, and it's just a beautiful setup here. Very happy to be coming to you guys from the Fyra Studios. And as we said, our topic of discussion for today is Vulcon 2, the Portal convention that just took place this past week. There were a lot of fantastic speakers. We're going to go ahead and get up on the screen here in a second. As you can see there, we had Coorest, we had Swallow there, HUSL was in the building, Fables of Fyra, TDFi, the fifth ecosystem with Matthew Medney of Heavy Metal and Vulcan's very own, Fyra's very own Flint Viking, did a fantastic job on the stage. Hexenagos, Egamers, TheFuturesAgency, EdVerse, Lady of Crypto made an appearance, and then of course the Dark Lord and Jamie with Vulcan Forged to close things out. Just
that Dark Lord, I'll tell you what, he's so hilarious sometimes. Thank you for all your applause, and yes, I deserve it.
Yeah, I know. He is so funny. Does an incredible job with the mic. Anytime the spotlight's on, and delivers above and beyond.
Well, let's get into this list of speakers. I'm interested to run through them and see. Some of them I'm very excited about. I'll be honest with you, some more than others, just because I'm invested personally in the project, or I just find it really fun. Up first we got Coorest, and I think we have something that you were talking about earlier to me.
Yeah. So Coorest, they had their CEO William Tenzikov, who we've had on the show before. He's a great guy. He had a fantastic speech. He spoke on behalf of Coorest, and a lot of interesting stuff he touched on. One of the more interesting things was about carbon neutrality as
Oh yeah.
what it to offset your carbon output as a gamer in the Vulcan Forged ecosystem. You get a lot of very interesting statistics and information in regards to that. So let's go ahead and check out a little bit of what William had to say during his presentation at Vulcan.
Awesome.
The annual average CO2 emission of a Vulcan Forged gamer is roughly 8 tons. It means that it only takes 320 trees to compensate for your carbon footprint. In other words, it will cost you around $2,400 to be carbon neutral as a gamer for 20 years. And now let's say this person wants to buy 10% more trees. They will remove 800 kilos more CO2 per year and 60 tons over 20 years. And let's put that into perspective money-wise. The current price of a compensated CO2 is around 10 cents per kilo. That means that if you spend $240 extra on trees, you will earn $1,600 in CO2 in the next 20 years. That's a return of 6.7 times. And if we assume that the price of compensated CO2 grows to €1 or $1 per kilo, that BlackRock is saying, then spending $240 extra on trees will earn you 16K in CO2 over 20 years. So that's a return of 67 times. Since the demand for carbon compensation is only growing, the price of carbon compensation is also increasing. This makes it easy for everybody to earn back their money they spent on compensating their carbon footprint. You can see on this EU carbon price chart.
Just great stuff from William there. And you had the opportunity, if you bought a batch 2 NFT, as you mentioned right at the end of the speech, you actually received a achievement in MyForge for participating in that batch 2 NFT sale. And there's so much good stuff going on with Coorest right now in our partnership with Vulcan Forged. Also earlier in William's speech, he touched on how the collaboration with Vulcan Forged began. He gave some insight on how their first meeting with Jamie and Glitch, I believe, went. It's a very entertaining story. But just good stuff from William there.
What was that achievement called? Like Vulcan Eco or something?
Yeah, it was something eco-related.
I think it was like Vulcan Eco or something. But yeah, it's a new achievement that was for this past week, basically.
Yeah. I believe the opportunity has expired at this point. You get one, but you had to buy an NFT while they were on sale, batch 2, and everyone who did would be awarded that achievement, which is very nice. As we saw a while ago, there's a new achievement dashboard coming to MyForge Vulcan ecosystem, so stacking achievements is going to be a very fun activity to partake in here very soon. I know achievement hunting is something a lot of people love to do. Thinking back to my World of Warcraft days,
I know, right?
Coorest going after certain achievements, and it's going to be no different in the Vulcan ecosystem. So congratulations to everyone who bought one of the Action Trees. And the next speaker we had was Jason Hernandez of the HUSL, and the HUSL, the partnership with Vulcan Forged has been around for quite some time now. It's a really cool project with a lot of exciting stuff happening. The biggest takeaway from his speech and everything going on with the HUSL was the collaboration with DKNY, the fashion powerhouse. A lot of major brands operating under the DKNY label that will be launching NFT projects, I believe, of some capacity. I don't really know the full extent of details on how that's going to look, but there are going to be some major fashion brands coming to Elysium in one way or another through this collaboration with the HUSL. So just getting some big names on board, a lot of attention into the blockchain ecosystem.
It's a big environment, right? Lots of different places in their ecosystem.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff going on with the HUSL. The featured highlight of that speech for sure was the DKNY announcement. That was other great stuff as well. That was definitely a big one. Fables of Fyra, fantastic presentation, I would say. Dino and Heidi.
Oh yeah, they knocked it out of the park.
They crushed it. I mean, such a great job with their presentation. Like the stage presence of Dino. Heidi did a fantastic job as well. Dino is just, I watch him.
Good motivational speaker, you know.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Just his presence up there, the way he's able to talk and deliver is really good stuff.
He's a fun guy to hang out with too, behind the scenes. You know, just talking to him before shows and everything. It's always a blast having him on.
Yep, I had him on our podcast a couple times. Just a great dude. Really good at just delivering information in a clear, easy to understand manner. There was a lot going on with their presentation. From the tokenomics of their Fables ecosystem, how that's going to work. Some new announcements coming to the project, such as the Odyssey Racing League, which was one thing that really stood out to me. That sounds amazing. Really fun addition. So let's go ahead and hear a little bit about what we can expect from the upcoming Odyssey Racing League and Fables of Fyra ecosystem.
All right.
Expansion that we feel provides additional economic incentive for people to participate in the economy. Fuck that.
So if you didn't catch that, our latest game in the Fables of Fyra ecosystem is going to be Odyssey Racing Arena. So the whole idea here is that you can race to win, you can train, trade, bet. Really the options are kind of limitless of what we can do in here. The premise is, and it really comes from Fables of Fyra, so it's based on these mythical, powerful dragons in Fyra Oyer that are now Odyssey racers in Odyssey Racing Arena. So these are not going to be the dragons that are known by us and you're used to. I actually have little pins of our cute little dragons that I was going to throw to the audience, but realized y'all are very far away. They're like harpooning you with a needle. So find me after, you'll get one. So Odyssey Racing Arena takes place in Fyra Undar, so it's underneath Fyra Oyer. And the idea is that there's going to be 4 lands, right? And you can race in an arena on all 4 of the different lands. And we're going to have the same renting and guild capabilities that Dino talked about for scholarships and whatnot. But the biggest advantage here is that Odyssey Racing not only expands our ecosystem, it actually expands our economy. So in the marketplace, you're going to be able to buy Odyssey Racers, Enchanted Lands, and the arenas, but you're also going to be able to buy the crafted items from the Awakening that will be transported into Odyssey Racing Arena. So these are going to be up on the screen here, elixirs and food and armor and a lot more, and they're going to be of huge value within Odyssey Racing Arena, and they are crafted distinctly using materials and ingredients from the Awakening. So this allows non-landowners and landowners alike to participate in the economy for both games.
Heidi, absolutely. You bring up a great point. So this slide here shows the interaction and really shows the creation of a secondary demand source for the tokens created on a day-to-day basis in Fables of Fyra, The Awakening. So as I mentioned, most games look at tokens being dropped onto a DEX daily or weekly as being a challenge. For us, it provides the liquidity needed for the Odyssey Racers to function and operate. All of those entry fees and different costs associated with Odyssey Racers is done in Cave, and therefore now the land as the factory generates Cave and is now used or demanded by Odyssey Racers as an external demand for those Cave tokens that are created daily. But not only does it create an economy for Cave, it creates economy for the crafted items within Fables of Fyra, The Awakening. So now, as I mentioned earlier, free-to-play players that are not generating Cave each day, they can create items, craft them, and then sell them to Odyssey Racers for Cave. This allows them to participate in the economy and creates a secondary economy for crafted items that really brings more players to the ecosystem without creating more tokens or putting more tokens into circulation. So we feel that this really emulates the approach that Jamie and Vulcan Forged has taken with the Elysium blockchain requiring lava and creating external demand.
Wow, man, some great energy there. Dino.
Oh, seriously, like Dino and Heidi absolutely crushed that presentation. The whole way through was really, really good. But yeah, like I'm super excited to see how things are going to play out with that Odyssey Racing League. That's going to be really fun to get in there and test out. A little bit of PvP coming to the Fables of Fyra ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's going to be excited. And another awesome thing that they mentioned during their presentation was gold key NFT owners in the Fables ecosystem now have access to their closed beta. So if you haven't already gotten in there as a gold key holder, you can download the game, you can start playing. It feels really polished, really nice. The team did a fantastic job putting that together. And yeah, there's a lot going on in the Fables ecosystem. One kind of major takeaway from my presentation was this is a big project with a large scope of where they want to go. A lot going on.
The Cave token, right? All that kind of stuff too?
Cave and mod token.
Yeah.
Vulcanomics, player tokenomics, a variety of different land tiers, different game modes as we know. There's Dragon Garden, there's the Fables of Fyra, The Awakening, there's now the Odyssey Racing, so a lot happened with the Fables. That's definitely a project to keep your eye on if you're not already involved there. And speaking of great games in the ecosystem, Vulcan Forged ecosystem, there is a fantastic one of the newer released ones that has come. This is Hexenagos, which I don't think I'm pronouncing properly, but that's just kind of how I read it in my head. This is the product of Day and Night Solutions, Day Devil and Night Angel of the Vulcan Forged community, Vulcan Forged team. Two long-term members that have been around since day one, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And Day Devil gave a presentation on what they are setting up, what they're building with that game. It just had a series of NFT sales on the Vulcan marketplace. If you didn't manage to pick one up, definitely keep your eye out, because I am predicting this will be one of the most played games on Elysium in the ecosystem when it's released in full.
It's definitely going to be popular.
It's a game that appeals to a lot of people. It's a heads-up strategy game. You have sort of like a hex chessboard type of environment. Very similar to chess, just with a lot more going on. Omega and I tested it on stream a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah,
and,
pretty soon they're going to be doing 2 vs 2. That's going to be awesome.
What one thing that was revealed during Daredevil's presentations, they're gonna have a 2v2 mode. So you can actually play with a partner against 2 other.
That's gonna be so fun.
people. Just the amount of strategy and like layer, like just depth of gameplay that you can have with a game like that. There's different different characters with different abilities. There's really just so much going on. And if you missed Daredevil's presentation, it was really good. Let's just go ahead and listen in on some of the things that he had to say about Hexenagos and how the game is going to work.
Awesome.
Each unit also will have a unique role in the game. And now each will also have a special ability, which we call Mythos. I'll show you an example of one here. So this is an archer unit that can shoot a specific arrow, and we also have other effects, like the following. When this one basically gives buffs to the army. So there are a lot of mechanics there that makes it challenging. Now, how do you win the game? The objective is to control kind of buildings for now. So when you have a unit placed on the building, you can score points. Later on, we'll add more of those mechanics to score for scoring. And this is an image of our army builder. So if you have NFTs, you can customize them, tailored to your preferences. Do you want to play with a full cavalry army? That's possible. You like archers more. You can easily combine them from the Amazon and the Hoplites factions, for example. Then there's a footage of the actual gameplay. So how the game plays is you have 8 rounds in total, in which you need to score the points. And each round, you each alternate a unit to play with. And each unit can do 2 actions, which can be either moving, attacking, or using the Mythos ability. And this can be done in any order. Now, the general play of the game is very straightforward. It's perfect. It's tailored for mobile play, but yet it has still enough challenges for the competitive gamer.
Hexenagos, I'm so excited, man. I can't wait to start playing like Mukti and I versus Walt and Glitch or something. I don't know. We're gonna have a fun time, man. That game is so. You think it's gonna be a really short game, and it ends up being like before you know it. And maybe it's just because of our, like we're still learning it or something, but it ends up being taking up a lot of your time because you're so into it. You don't realize how much time's passed, which makes a fun game. But yeah, fun stuff.
I believe Daredevil did say eventually there's going to be like a shot clock implemented, so turns won't take as long as when we tested it. But it's just such a good looking game. I mean, that's one I'm going to be sinking a lot of hours into.
Yeah.
It's just the type of game that really appeals to me personally, and it just looks fantastic. So if you missed their initial wave of NFTs going on the marketplace, keep your eyes out for more getting listed there. It's going to be a fantastic game. So in terms of what the NFTs will do within the game, within the ecosystem, I think there's still a good bit to be unveiled in that regard. But nonetheless, it's getting in early to what looks like a very promising game.
Oh yeah.
On the Elysium blockchain. So Hexenagos was fantastic. Much love to Daredevil and Night Angel for Bill missing out. Daredevil did a fantastic job on the stage. That was one of my favorite presentations of the entire event. And another one of my favorite presentations is what we're going to be looking at next. And this was the myth ecosystem of on stage. There was Matthew Medney of Heavy Metal and Vulcan Forged by the Myers' very own Glitch Viking.
That's right.
And this was just a fantastic presentation. There was so much cool stuff unveiled here. What is going on within the...
Well, hey, so Glitch told me this one thing. Glitch is dead to the world right now. I think he's hibernating for like 12 hours straight. But he was telling me something about. I wish he could have been on. It just didn't work out because of him being exhausted. Right before we started recording, Walt was actually in the air. I think at midnight or something. But anyway. Glitch was telling me about the fact that he was absolutely nervous. He only had what do you say, like orange? What's that?
He was nervous.
Oh no, not at all. That's what like it's just the way he operates. When he gets on, you know, onto something, it's just like he could be nervous as all get out, and you would never see it. It's just glitch. But he said that he had been drinking like coffee and orange juice, and that was it. And like other people were coming in, they had like a full on breakfast, they were ready to go, and he's like, he hadn't had anything, he's not really prepared because the stuff was coming in last minute or whatever. And then he walks out on stage, and because of the audience actually giving him such a hype, whenever he was introduced and everybody was clapping real loud and everything, and that I think it had a little to do with the music, his intro music. Yeah, he was feeling it. So when he came out, he felt that confidence and everything, and you know, then he just starts doing his showmanship. You know, the glitch that we know, and we might actually, if you want to go ahead and roll the footage, we can see that and then come back and talk about it some more.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and roll it. Glitch and actually getting brought up on stage by the Darkwood was awesome. Just check it out.
Nice.
Sweet. Awesome. What's up, everyone? So we're here to talk about Myth Token, new project on Elysium, heavy metal, and what we're doing in the blockchain space. But before we get into it, we want to play a quick video. That's pretty cool.
So, the token powering the Myth ecosystem is MythX. Investors in the Myth token become stakeholders in the entire Myth ecosystem. MythX has got three primary functions. Staking tokens to generate crystals, which is a little bit of magic that I'll talk about in a bit. Staking to generate other Myth ecosystem rewards, incentives, and partner tokens. And as a governance token as well for decision making within the ecosystem. Holding Myth generates crystals, our ecosystem-wide currency used by partners for a wide range of digital and real-world asset sales. Crystals are non-listed, non-crypto digital assets, pegged to $1. Now, as users buy crystals to take ownership of digital goods, the pool of crystals is going to be replenished. Now, again, I'm just giving a brief overview here because the white paper for this is 22 pages long and it's absolutely roasting up here. You can find me in the shade later.
Just awesome stuff from Glitch there. So what you also saw after they were brought on stage was the introduction of crystals in the ecosystem, which is such a cool, unique concept. So as you heard Glitch say, these are non-listed non-crypto digital assets pegged to a US dollar. And they're going to have a wide variety of use cases in the Myth ecosystem. So they're going to have their MythX token, their crystals as well, which is a super unique sounding digital asset. And it's just something that I wanted to showcase there because Twitch wasn't able to get into the full realm of details of everything surrounding crystals. Because as he said, there's a 22-page white paper. It's on their website at mythtoken.io, I believe it is. And it's Glitch has his hands in a lot of stuff. Of course, plays a huge role with Vulcan Forged. He's been helping us out by the fire for a long time. He does so much with Artify and Everscapes and everything going on there. And now he's taking on this project within the Myth ecosystem, and just knowing that Glitch is involved in the capacity gives me a lot of faith in it. And just look through this white paper. I mean, they're building a beast here. So I was very impressed with this presentation. They have a huge team, a lot of games set to be built, a lot going on in the fantasy art realm on blockchain. So this is a very cool, very unique looking project that I'm super excited about. Not just because Glitch is involved, but that of course is a big factor here, but just what they're building out.
What a great name too, Myth. I love it. Some old school days playing, some games that revolved around that. So that was awesome. But yeah, so such a great project, man. I'm really excited to see what else comes out of that. He does have so much going on, always so dang busy, and I don't know, what has he got, 100 companies he's in now or something? Jesus, the guy's always so busy.
Is my mic sound all right?
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, perfect. But yeah, so I was worried that it just died on me there, but we're plugged in here, good to go. Yeah, the mic is looking good. But yeah, it was a great presentation from Glitch and Matthew there. Super excited about everything coming with the Myth ecosystem. And another great speaker that we had at the events, which we are going to be mentioning next year, was Alex of Swallow. So Swallow is the digital NFT and metaverse tattoos. It's a very cool, unique idea. I remember initially whenever I heard of the concept of digital tattoos, it took me a little bit to wrap my head around how that would work, how you could build a business around that kind of thing. But they have some very cool and unique ideas going on over at Swallow. So it was very cool getting to hear Alex speak about everything that they have going on there, what they're building, talk about their collaboration with Vulcan Forged and Elysium. And there was just a lot of really good stuff in regards to the information given out by Swallow there.
Another great speaker, yeah. Another one we had was EdVerse. Yeah, they full of great stuff. Always great to bring education in the crypto space, and they keep coming up with new stuff and expanding their verse, as it were. So it's getting pretty big too.
So we heard from Watam, the CEO of EdVerse, and he wasn't able to be live at the event. He was there in video form, but he gave an incredible presentation about what EdVerse is building and setting up. And it's very cool to have a project like that being built on Elysium. It's not all gaming. We do have an education-based metaverse that is going to be launching on there, and just the potential of something like that is huge. I mean, in the video that they showed, we're not going to show clips for every one of these projects, just for the sake of keeping things.
Keep that.
Got
to keep that show under the limit.
We're being very conscious of our time here, but just a lot to be excited about for EdVerse. Watam gave a great presentation and gave us some awesome insight into everything that they are setting up and building, and it's a very cool partnership for us to have. Excited to see how things develop there, and potentially down the road for this new way of educating youth through the metaverse versus traditional schools.
It's awesome. EdVerse always reminds me of Ready Player One, and I feel like it's going to be, VR rigs, and everybody's learning inside of VR, because you can just immediately zoom to the pyramids or wherever, to learn about what your teacher's teaching you about. So very, very excited about that project too, to see where that goes.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
So what? Let's see. What else we have? We have Egamers.
Yeah, so George, yeah, this was a very, very cool one. So George gave a lot of insight into NFT games becoming mainstream, and he looked at a variety of. First off, he talked about what he does at Egamers. They're very involved, him especially in the P2E gaming space. He took a look at some things in regards to what makes projects unsuccessful versus successful. He gave some love to the Vulcan Forged tokenomics because they are set up in a brilliant manner. It's really as good as it gets in terms of the gaming ecosystem's tokenomics that exists on blockchain. It's hard to find anything better than what Vulcan Forged has set up. But he also shined some light, George did, on the amount of money that's getting piled into the NFT gaming space and the metaverse space. How all these big players, if they're not already involved, it's only a matter of time until they likely will be getting involved. And it just caused a lot of feelings of bullishness inside of me as I was listening to him. The man did a fantastic job on stage, had a great presentation, and he wasn't just focused on Vulcan Forge. It was really the play to earn gaming space in general. But he gave a lot of love to Vulcan Forge, and said a lot of great things. And after listening to him speak, I've already been very bullish on the play to earn gaming space for quite some time now, but even more so. And George is just an awesome guy. It's very cool.
Yeah.
That he's invested in playing as big of a role in the ecosystem as he has been now, with writing articles, making content for Vulcan Forge, speaking at Vulcan. Just a great guy to have around.
Yeah, he actually, off air too. He's also a great guy to talk to, and he just sounds like when we're talking to him, he sounds like he'd be a great guy to get together with and just do a big LAN party with or something. Just have a blast playing a bunch of games with. It'd be fun.
Yeah. Oh, seriously, yeah. He just seems like an absolute great dude all around.
Yeah.
George, much respect, man. If you end up catching this, fantastic job on your presentation. Looking forward to checking out more of your content soon, man. Give him a follow over at Egamers if you guys haven't already. And the TheFuturesAgency. So this was a cool one. This is a somewhat recently announced partnership with Vulcan Forged. So we had Gerd Leonhard came up and just gave a lot of great information about the metaverse space overall, the potential of growth in crypto and blockchain in the next 10, 15, 20 years. And as their name is the TheFuturesAgency, you can tell just by listening to him talk, he's very bullish on the future of the space, and just seemed like a super intelligent guy listening to him. And he has content all over the place on the internet. So it seems like he really knows what he's talking about, and he loves getting out there and just sharing his knowledge, sharing his information about the space and why he's so bullish on it coming into the future. So definitely check out the TheFuturesAgency if you have not. I'm not 100% certain of what their partnership with Vulcan Forge looks like what the details of that entail. But it's a very cool company. Gerd seems like a really great, really intelligent guy. And just another awesome speaker that we had the privilege of listening to during the event.
Got a cool name too. The TheFuturesAgency sounds pretty badass. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is a very cool name for a company.
All right, up next we have Lady Crypto.
Yes, so
or Lady of Crypto. I apologize. I apologize. I wrote that down incorrectly. Lady of Crypto.
Lady Crypto, many people's favorite Twitter personality in the crypto token space. We've been supporting PYR Vulcan Forge for a while now, making positive tweets. She went up on stage, gave some
talked a lot about fashion, right? I mean, she was talking a lot about that and a lot about trying to ease people into the idea of fashion in a digital sense. So yeah.
And she cracked some jokes up there. Seems like a very funny lady for sure. And yeah, just a lot of confidence on stage. It's not easy getting up there and speaking in front of so many people, but she did a fantastic job. Was a very entertaining speaker at the event, and yeah, it was awesome just to hear her talk. I've seen her on Twitter for quite some time now, mostly her Vulcan Forge related tweets. but I know she's a big influencer on there, has a big following, and it was really cool to see her show up at Vulcan.
Yeah, I'm sure she had a heck of a time with everybody else too. They probably all had a good party time. You know.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, like it's
pre and post con.
Gotta live it up.
And last on the list here, last but not least, is going to be Vulcan Forged with Jamie and the Dark Lord. They went back and forth a couple of times. I think sometimes Jamie just looks at the Dark Lord. He's like, okay, let's move it along. You know, because he wants to get to the content. The Dark Lord's doing all the backstory with everything. So it's funny to see that relationship take place on at the con and everything. But they had a lot. They had a lot to talk about. Jamie had some very interesting stuff to talk about. So I guess, did you want to see what he had to say? I know there was. We might actually see a couple of videos here, and we'll come back and talk about it. But we're going to go over Metascapes. That's a new thing that is coming to the Vulcan Forged ecosystem. Very interesting. The way they're going to have, from my understanding, NFTs that like you'll be able to have a property, and everything about that property will be stored on the NFT. Maybe as opposed to being, you know, related to a server that it has to go grab the information of the NFT from. And then we've got a new token that it's pretty big news. A new token that is called GSP.
Yep, the George St. Pierre token.
Yep, it's gold, silver. What's that?
It's just everyone's been calling it the George St. Pierre token. They're not. They're saying it reminds them of George St. Pierre because those are the initials of one of the most legendary MMA fighters of all time.
Gotcha.
Which just makes it that much cooler. So yeah, it's gold, silver, platinum, of course, is what GSP actually stands for. But yeah, Elysium's own stablecoin, backed by those precious metals.
Yes. So.
Very cool.
Yeah, the big deal is you forge gold in Vulcanverse, and you can cash it out and actually get real gold from it. That's the general concept of it all, or one of them. So, but let's see what he has to say on the big T. Or actually, we're gonna roll this full screen here, so you can get the full experience from Jamie, and we'll come back and talk about that, and also we got something else. The last thing we want to talk about, we'll get to after we see what Jamie's talked about, a couple of things Jamie's talked about.
Yep. Let's roll it.
All right.
Greetings, wormlings. I am the Dark Lord. Oh, sorry, I was just chopping up some children for lunch. I'll take this off. I'd keep it on, but it's too hot.
Okay, big one, massive one. So this is the Elysium stablecoin. Now, this is not any old stablecoin. We have partnered with, crikey, with the name of it, Coorest, I think, which are the fourth biggest mineral provider in the world of gold, silver, platinum. So the stablecoin on Elysium will be backed by real gold, real silver, and platinum. So this is the Elysium stablecoin project. It's called GSP, and the cool thing about this, it's always backed by the same amount of material. So you can literally trade it for for minerals of gold, silver, platinum. Now, I don't know if we're the first to do it, but we'll be the first to do it on this scale. So you can imagine now that you could actually forage gold in Vulcanverse and actually sell it for real gold in the real world. So again, lots of numbers and lots of minds behind it, not myself, but this has been under development for a few months, and we have to big thanks to Jaap for signing the partnership with Auroras, who are enormous. So again, all the wonderful, I mean, the staff just yeah, shout out for the Jaap and Toby and Glitch and everyone who's worked on Vulcan the last few years. Okay, big one. So this is a product. So the idea of this product is, and this has been working on again for a few months, is it always got me how the play-to-earn, I've never really been a fan of the play-to-earn, and when we launched Vulcanverse originally in the alpha, people loved building, and they didn't give a monkeys about earning and money and all that kind of stuff, and it kind of took a bit of the fun away from it. And when you look at Minecraft, where people can actually enjoy just making things and showing it off, we've got this incredible building engine. And yes, Vulcanverse is very lore, very, it's Greco-Roman lore backed and themed and stuff. And we are going to take this to the whole new level of World of Warcraft. Slowly but surely we are. You can see it happening. But we thought it's a bit of a waste. We've got this limited land. We've got this Vulcan, this themed. We're kind of not trapped, but it's one big game. So I would love to introduce you to probably the biggest product I think we've ever released, and is using technology we've already used. I think we've got a video, actually, which explains it better than I could.
Vulcan has created the world he promised. He sees it growing with mortals who create, fight, trade. It's beautiful and continues to develop week by week. And yet, there is still something missing. The engine he made for you to create building upon building, to decorate and immerse yourself, is coupled with earning humanoid money. This is fine, but he wants more. He has chosen to take his building engine beyond his world, to the entire world, to everyone, to build anything, not for money, but for pleasure. He introduces to you Metascapes. Metascapes is a platform designed for anyone. Any mortal can create a plot of land for free, with its whole data stored on blockchain. They can make conjoining plots, buy, sell, trade them for other plots. The land is forged offline, and the entire data is stored in a new NFT protocol, the ELS M1. These NFTs can store and load the entire plot data into the Metascape engine. Mortals can choose the landscape, the theme, the type of land they wish, and upgrade their land with assets with mortal dollars. All payments are converted to PYR backend. Every time a plot is saved and uploaded to the blockchain Elysium, lava is burned. But there's more. You can own your own Metascape. You can create a world of as many plots as you like, setting your own parameters of what your inhabitants can buy, use, do, selling the land NFTs to whoever you like for them to explore. And explore you shall, as your avatar can traverse across all Metascapes in existence. And the final twist? Metascapes is VR compatible. You can sculpt and explore your worlds in a full virtual reality environment. Vulcan is creating the most mass-adoptable, up-to-date metaverse maker in existence. Powered by PYR, paid in fiat, universally shared. Forge your world.
So, a lot of the stuff in that video are already done. We know what the parameters are used when you build something and you save it, in Vulcanverse, for example. So, what we've done is, you would make it offline, and you can save on your computer or whatever, and when you're ready, you would save it onto the blockchain. So what we're in effect doing is, because we find ourselves making a lot of these other metaverses, you know, we're helping a lot of these metaverses to partnering with us, we're building stuff for them. And so I thought, well, why not we just give the power to anyone in the world to make their own metaverse? And that's where this sort of idea sort of came from. So if you think of Minecraft, where you know you can just build and show off your stuff, but now you can get a plot. You know, you can choose which theme you want, whether it's a bit more cartoonish or fantasy-like. Build it, form it, whatever, and then you can buy sort of assets with it with PYR. By the way, we have to sort of announce there the fiat to PYR is through a partnership with Binance and crikey, I forget the name, Bifinity with Binance. So everything will be paid in dollars for this, and it will be converted to PYR on the back end through the Binance market. So it will be bought through the Binance trading pairs, the USDT to PYR. So yeah, it's a kind of like getting a Minecraft, getting a plot, building something, adding assets to it with PYR, and then you can explore it in VR, which we have already done. I think I shared some videos of the philosophers already. And then you can sell it on, you can buy someone else's plot, put it together, you can make your own sort of metaverse, or you can choose to own your own kind of Vulcanverse equivalent. You choose the parameters. What can people buy? What's their leveling parameters? And of course, if you make the Metascape, you make sort of money on that. So it's an ambitious project, and it looks ambitious, but again, a lot of the tech has been done. Now, the first alpha of that will be out in Q1 with a lot more kind of cartoony sort of version of it. But okay, onwards we go, and what we're going forward. But yeah, we all know Berserk was one of our biggest games before we close it down. Season 2 is coming. We've got a tournament starting on the 20th of June, and I can assure you that those who have played the standalone version, it's a completely different beast. It's stable, there's emojis, there's new tactics, new cards, there's new everything. Berserk, we are going to give the same attention we do to Vulcanverse, okay? So, on the 20th of June, there is a small test tournament, and Season 2 will start on the 4th of July. Oh.
We have a lot to unpack with Jamie's presentation. So, Jamie, of course, of Alley, so many bombs were dropped from him while he was on stage there. And so, just to unpack a little bit everything that he went through in his speech, everything he unveiled. So, the GSP tokens, this is huge. This is going to be the stable coin of Elysium that is backed by real-life precious metals. So, we have 80% gold, 15% silver, and 5% in platinum is going to be used to back these stable coins, the GSP token. One really cool thing that is an option with these tokens that I actually missed live on the stream. I didn't even notice it until we watched the replay back. But you can actually have these precious metals delivered to you. You can convert the token for the real-life precious metals and have them delivered to your home, which is just an incredible utility.
Yeah, just to be able to forge gold and have it delivered to your door. That's pretty impressive in a blockchain game.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing. And I know Jaap had a big, a big role to play in this whole thing. So a huge shout out to Jaap for making this happen. I mean, it's just amazing.
Just a little part, I'm sure.
Through metaverse interaction, you are actually able to claim real life precious metals. It's amazing.
It's pretty cool.
Also, Elysium Swap is going to have trading pairs for these precious metals, gold, silver, and platinum. That's very interesting. I don't know if that's something that's done in the crypto space already, but I don't think I've ever heard of it. So that'll be interesting to see how it plays out. We'll have some like PYR gold pairs, or whatever other tokens are on the Elysium Swap. Or maybe it'll be USDC gold. I really don't know.
Also, side note, silver that you currently have in Vulcanverse, not the same thing. Sorry, folks.
That's an important side note to make there, unfortunately. Yes, otherwise you'd see
Don't want people to run around thinking they're rich.
Yeah. Some wealthy foragers out there in the ecosystem. But yeah, so huge news on the GSP token. Very cool to see that it's being backed by these precious metals and all the utility that's coming along with it. Huge reveal there from Jamie. And now, of course, the big reveal, and according to Jamie, one of the biggest announcements that the company Vulcan Forged has ever made. What's that?
Fishing?
No news on fishing, unfortunately, but
Oh, it said major news, so I just figured, that big long pause is going to say fishing revealed.
I know Jaap said to you in Discord recently that that fishing is going to be coming somewhat soon.
Yeah.
So we knew that even though it wasn't announced at any point during Vulcon, unfortunately. But what was unveiled during Vulcon was Metascapes, which is a huge project being launched by Vulcan Forged. And the idea there, as Jamie mentioned in the video, was that Vulcanverse has this incredible engine, this incredible metaverse engine, building engine that they use for Vulcanverse, and they're kind of limited to Vulcanverse because there's only so many land plots, and you have to stay within the theme of like the Greco-Roman war, and of course Troy's coming, and other metaverses will come that will utilize this engine. But Vulcan Forge is making this available to anybody, anywhere in the world, to essentially have the tools to create your own metaverse, your own virtual environments. The potential of something like this is hard to conceptualize, but it's very, very cool to think about, like all the creative people that exist in the world now have the opportunity to create their own virtual living space, their own virtual worlds, virtual realities that they can build with their own imagination. They have the tools right there for them via Metascapes. This could be a massive product.
Yeah, I think the important thing to note too, and I might be understanding this wrong, but from what I understood, right now, when you're building your plots of land in Vulcanverse, everything's on chain. So you own a plot, but the data that's telling you what that plot looks like is all stored on the Vulcanverse servers. From what I understand about this new Metascapes, all the data for that plot that you're going to be built, or that plot, the land or whatever they call it in Metascapes, the property, all that data to be able to build it from the ground up is going to be contained within that NFT. And maybe I'm wrong in understanding how that was being said, but that's the way they described it on the announcement at Vulcon. So kind of interested to see all that data packed into an NFT and how that really works is going to be interesting. I like the concept.
Yeah. Oh, it is a very, very cool concept. And Jamie did say during the speech that you'd be able to build out the plots offline and then upload them to blockchain, I guess, when you
right off chain. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's something that's pretty amazing. So it'll be interesting to see how it works. And I know he said that on the marketplace you'll be using US dollars or fiat currency to buy, and then it'll be converted to PYR using the Binance and
all on the back end. It just automatically converts.
Yes, which is very, very cool, and it's just a product that will appeal to so many people in the world.
Yeah.
This is just an incredible idea by the team, by Jamie, and it's going to be very exciting to see how this one develops in the coming months and years. But that's huge because we do have access to such a great build engine. It is almost unfortunate the fact that it's limited to just Vulcanverse and eventually Troy and those games. But now that it's open to the world, who knows how many more eyes that something like this could get onto Vulcan Forge, on the ecosystem as a whole. So this is a huge announcement, huge news, really, really cool stuff for the Metascapes announcement. Hopefully more information coming soon on that in the coming weeks, but very excited to see how that develops. And, last but not least, we would be remiss not to announce that Season 2 of Berserk, ladies and gentlemen, is just right around the corner. A lot of us have been waiting for this for a very, very long time. The game is now in a standalone application that's being tested by beta testers. I just played recently the other day. There are some massive improvements. The desync issues are more or less gone from my experience, and it just it feels so smooth, it feels so nice. Cannot wait for Season 2. On the 20th of June, there's going to be a small test tournament launching that runs up into the 4th of July with prizes involved, courtesy of Vulcan Forged. And then on the 4th of July is when the fireworks begin. That's when the celebration starts. That's when grinding begins, I should say. July 4th, 2022 is the start of Season 2. I grinded Season 1 like crazy. I was literally glued to my computer. There was a most wins prize pool, so you would would have extra rewards for getting those wins. So I went pretty hard for that.
Honestly, believe that Mukti was timing himself to see how fast he could actually kill people. It just one after another. Hey, by the way, I helped with that test you did earlier, a couple days or a day or two ago. I was the punching bag, so I know that pneumatox hurts.
Oh yeah, yep. Omega did help with that. I also played a match against Apollo Creed as well, and it was very they really weren't.
Oh, you did play a match with him?
Yeah, later that same night.
Oh, okay.
Right after we stopped, he was on and just wanted to know if anyone was on for a game. He stopped me.
I was about to say, so you actually had somebody who could fight you. That's great.
Yep. Still a little rusty, but I'm going to be playing more, preparing for season 2. We'll definitely be involved in that small test tournament. See how we perform there. But yeah, that's huge news for Berserk season 2. So for Jamie's speech for Vulcan, that basically sums up all the major announcements, major points. There was a GSP token, a Metascapes announcement, and of course Berserk season 2. There was a lot more unveiled as he was up on stage there. Those are really kind of big standout announcements, though, as far as we see it. And some other things that we want to wrap up the show with. So I just want to say quickly that was really mind blown with Vulcan just overall as an event. The team went all out for that. It was such an impressive setup at the venue. The speakers were fantastic. After, the after party events, the gala dinner, the light show, the award ceremony, there was so much going on here. It just seemed like such an amazing thing to have been able to attend. Very sad to have missed out. The live stream was great, but of course not even close to the same thing as being there in person. But just huge credit to the team. There aren't many projects in the space throwing events like this. I think it really just validates the strength and belief a lot of the community has in Vulcan Forged to do something like this for the community, to throw an event like this, because you get to bring people together from all across the world, people who have known each other virtually for months and years now, and to be able to celebrate together in a big event like this, even with everything going on in the crypto space, with how rough the markets have been lately, just to have an event like this, have it be such a massive success is such a cool thing. And we're all very privileged to be part of this project because there's not many projects out there doing things like this. So much love to the Vulcan Forged team. And before we wrap things up here, we have a few little shout outs, things we want to touch on before we wrap up here. Megan?
Yeah, I wanted to kind of give a shout out to a community member, Itsmass. Or it is Mass. I always, I can't remember which way, but him and his team had made something to track lava burn on Elysium. It's a cool little app, and I think I have this ready. I'll have to do a little bit of. Well, anyway, you can see it on the screen right there. It's really nice looking. Yeah, it's really nice looking. It real-time lava burn tracking. I was talking to him about it. He said him and his team created it, and I was just really impressed with the way it looked. So I wanted to shout out to him and say congratulations, man, great job. It looks nice.
Yeah, seriously crushing. And actually, the Vulcan Forged Twitter account, we tweeted this out, and it's very, very impressive stuff. It's going to be cool to see this thing operating live on Elysium. Huge shout out to Itsmass and the team for putting this one together. That's just that's gold right there.
Yeah.
That is GSP approved gold. So some other things we want to mention here is we have Vulcanomics episode 3 releasing on tomorrow, Sunday. So huge shout out to Tiger John, has really been putting a lot of time and effort into these videos to help the community on the Elysium blockchain, on the various intricacies and things that make up the economics of the blockchain. The nodes, the lava generation and burns. A lot of information on how the economics of the Elysium blockchain are going to work. Episode 2 was great. Episode 3 is even better. I've had the privilege to see it. It's finished. It's done. We're just going to wait until Sunday to release it. Very excited to get it out there to the community. Hope you guys enjoy that. Just know a lot of love and work went into that video, as well as all the Vulcanomics videos. And
and we love feedback too. Don't forget to mention the feedback, because we love when people tell us what they like or don't like about our videos. We took the feedback. There will be no finger in this video, right?
And actually, yeah, so we had some community feedback. Itsmass, believe it or not.
Okay. Your mic went out. Small little blooper. There we go. No, still going. It wouldn't be a VTM show.
How about now?
There we go.
Nice. We are back. But as I was saying, yes, so Itsmass, the man behind that beautiful lava bird dap, was actually one of the community members who suggested we. So how it did work is we had a little hand was drawing the stuff out and was placing the graphics up on the screen and drawing them. When he thought it would look better without it, and we tested that theory, that hypothesis, and he was spot on correct, because we think it looks much better now. So yeah, any feedback, any ideas, things that you'd like to see added, tweaked, modified in the Vulcanomics videos, do not hesitate to reach out to us. I also want to give a huge shout out to Jaap, who not only put together a fantastic Medium article recapping Vulcan, which helped us with this episode here today, which we will put the link to in the description. You can also see a bit of the article, boom, right here. He did a fantastic job with that, just capturing, what it was like to actually be at the event, how special it was, and definitely a Medium article worth checking out if you have not done so already. But Jaap has also been helping big time with the Vulcanomics videos, working with Tiger John and myself to make sure we have all the correct information to get out to the community and to anyone who may be looking into Elysium from the outside, thinking about getting started, and wants to know how it all works. That's really the main reason we're doing those videos. Also want to give a lot of love to Meta, Vulcan Forged community member, who has been working with us to get the videos translated into Filipino and Spanish languages. So that's been amazing, very helpful.
Yes,
Meta,
awesome.
Shout out to you, dude. Appreciate that very much.
I've got a shout out too. In a real serious note, because it's the future for all of us, right? I mean, we're all invested. Most of us, if not all of us, are invested in Vulcan Forged in one way or another. I just want to say the latest AMA that Jamie just did, man, I can't say enough. I'm getting pumped again for Vulcan Forged. Like, it's just the way that things are looking. It's growing so maturely now. It's just things are looking so good in the way I see Vulcan Forged moving into the future, with more organization, more just the way things are I'm assuming going to get released, and the way that Jamie was on that AMA, he seemed, and maybe I just it's something, a placebo effect of sorts, just hearing him say certain things in the AMA, but kind of feel like he's a little bit more relaxed when he was doing that AMA. Seemed like he was able to lean on other people and get that medium that I think Jaap and developer ended up writing for Jamie to be able to answer some of these AMA questions. But I'm just really glad to see the way things are shaping up. That AMA was great, is what I'm trying to say, Jamie. So keep up the good work, man. It looked great.
Yeah, it really was. Like that AMA, just Vulcan being as great and successful as it was, this is the place to be right now in the play to earn blockchain gaming space. I mean, I think all of our belief as a community has been strengthened over the past week from these events. There's pretty much no projects out there that generate this much continuous excitement and big news of awesome stuff going on.
And PYR going against the market. I mean, honestly, it's been, considering what we've seen in the market, PYR being as stable as it is. I mean, everything in the market's not great right now, but kind of surprised to see PWR holding its own to some degree.
It's been holding up extremely well, all things considered. Yeah, that is really awesome to see. Yeah, because a lot of tokens have been punished big time, and of course we've dipped significantly, but every coin has, and we've held up, especially with this recent ETH dip. The price has been stabilized, very well around the 310 to 350 region.
It just goes to show what people think about the company. I mean, because the price of that is probably going to be a reflection of what the company is capable of and what they believe the company is going to do. So happy to see that too. And I got unless you've got anything else, we can go ahead and roll into the first official mint on the Elysium network.
We got a couple things to close the show out with here. We're gonna take a look at the first mint, or the first NFT ever minted on the Elysium blockchain that was taken live during Jamie's speech at Vulcan. And then we also have a fantastic clip to show you, or we actually have it is a clip. It's a portion of the segment of the light show that took place.
Oh man, that was epic. I wish I could have been there so bad for that.
It was incredible. So if you haven't seen that yet, definitely worth checking out the full light show on the Vulcan Forged Show.
Hats off to the developers on that too.
Yeah, that was unreal. How quality that was. So we're gonna check out the first Elysium NFT that was minted live at Vulcan,
and we're gonna watch that on this screen right here together. And then once we watch that together, we'll end up sending y'all off to the laser show, basically.
Run it.
Here we go.
This is the launch ceremony. I guess if you're ready to mint that NFT live, you can stick the Elysium mainnet up. Yep, good to go. All right, then let's do it.
He's so excited and cautious at the same time. This is great.
NFT 1 on Elysium. Done by Night Angel himself. On the Vulcan stats. Big shout out to Night Angel, by the way. He does, he is a machine on Elysium.
Is that Jamie crossing his fingers? Is he like, come on, please work? I love the animation too. It looks great.
That is.
Way!
A little excitement.
NFTs! What NFT? We did it, Oh, that's a nice moment. Look at that. Oh, wow. That's
Listen
amazing.
to this.
That is quite a moment, yeah. So the first, that will always be one of one. We'll remember that in a few years to come. And I hope you're in the photo. If you're not, tough luck.
So if you're in the photo, great. If not, tough luck.
You missed out, unfortunately.
But yeah, I mean that was a great moment. You can always go check that out. Also, what he was just looking at, that's available to the public to see right now. You can go to vulcanstats.io and click on the Elysium link on the left-hand side, and then that'll show you the NFT. You can look at all the people that were in it.
Yeah, it's very cool. So the first NFT is there on Elysium, with many more to come in the near future. I am just so freaking excited for that blockchain to get up and running, for all the tokens, NFTs that are going to be migrated over there to get there. For the lava burns to begin, for the lava gas transactions to begin. You're going to be living in a completely different world with the full release of Elysium, and it's going to be fantastic. So much momentum moving in Vulcan's favor right now. We are very happy to be a part of this ride, very happy to be a part of this community, and very happy to be able to do this recap today. So we hope you guys enjoyed this new iteration, new variety of show format for By the Fire. This is going to be improved upon. This is going to be modified and tweaked for every single episode, and we're going to be doing our best to bring you guys all of the latest Vulcan Forged news content updates in a fun and quick, professional, high-quality manner. So thank you very much for sticking with us. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, wherever you are in the world, and thank you for hanging out with us by the fire.
Good night, and until next time.
The old myths are dying. We gods fade from the world as mankind turns to their machines, their magic-killing science, their virtual worlds filled with new gods and monsters. They don't need us anymore, and we are forgotten. We sleep, we dream, we fade into eternity. The old myths are dying. They don't need us anymore. We are forgotten. I will use your science to create a virtual world. I, Vulcan, will create a new Olympus.